Okay, Shalom. We're going over Joel, second chapter. I just showed when we're going to have rest. When we read Isaiah 14, 1-3. Verse 3 says, and it shall come to pass when we have all the other nations as our servants and handmaids. It says, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve in the kingdom. So now going back to Joel, the second chapter, which we're precepting. We were in verse 20 when it says, but I will remove far off from you the northern army. So you're going to have America's army going over to the Middle East, and we'll drive them into a land barren and desolate, like in the desert, and his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the uttermost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. So that means the whole lot of dead bodies going to be right there when he have them come to the valley of decision, valley of Jehoshaphat. So going back to Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, since we know we're going to have rest at this time now, and verse 46 says, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved. The noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. We just went to a Revelation 18th chapter showing that the nation's going to be standing afar off for the fear and the torment of her burning, it says. Revelation 18 and 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Most High power who judges her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, following the way of America, shall bewail her. They're going to be crying to see America burning, and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment. They're not going to try and come and help her. They're going to be standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that great city America, that mighty city America, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. The merchants of the earth shall weep. They're going to be crying and mourn over her. But no man buyeth her merchandise anymore. Does it say, most I say it's going to be burned up? Go to Jeremiah 50 and 40. He said, Jeremiah 50 and 40. As the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, said the Most High, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. See? Just the way it is. It's going down. Prophecy, as it is written. Who's going to stop the hand of the Most High? But let's look at, because we went through a lot showing what we have to do as the children of Israel and pleasing the Most High, keeping His laws, statutes, commandments, so that we don't get caught up in this fire that's going to burn if we there. We scattered among all nations, so He's going to burn a whole lot of these places that our people are at right now. Going to make a full end of some nations too, because they're not going to want to serve Him. He said a nation, a kingdom that will not serve Him. Let's get it. Go to Isaiah 60 and 12. Isaiah 60 and 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve Him shall perish. They're going to be destroyed. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. See? But you're going to have a remnant of the nations that's going to serve Him. Or mostly all these nations. But those that don't want to serve Him, He's going to get rid of them. He's going to destroy them. So Joel 2 and 21. I did a whole series on this whole chapter. You can go on my YouTube page, Freestyle Wam, and look at from 1 on down. We're in Joel, the second chapter, verse 21. It say, fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for the Most High will do great things. So he's telling the land, hey, fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for the Most High will do great things. Why is he speaking to the land? Let's go to the book of Baruch, the 4th chapter. Baruch, the 4th chapter, and we'll see why he's speaking to the land. The land has to speak to us and gave us solutions and what we should do. But you think we want to hear it? Until this day. I hope someone's ears are open to hear this. Baruch, the 4th chapter, the 8th verse. It said, ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. This is the land. So we forgot the Most High, everlasting power that brought us up. And ye have grieved Jerusalem, grieved the land that nursed you. So we grieved the land that nursed us. For when the land of Israel saw the wrath of the Most High coming upon you, she said, hearken. The land told us, listen, all you that dwell about Zion, the Most High have brought upon me great mourning. That's why he's telling the land in Joel 2 and 21, fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for the Most High will do great things. Because the land is telling you in Baruch 4. But when she saw, verse 9, for when she saw the wrath of the Most High coming upon you, she said, hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion, the Most High hath brought upon me, the land, great mourning. That's why the Most High telling the land to rejoice. Because it was mourning, and it's still mourning until we get back to that land, the children of Israel. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. He brought upon us because we didn't want to follow the law, statutes, commandments. He said, hey, you follow me, I'll bless you above all nations. You don't, I'm gonna curse you. The Most High is the one that did this to us. Verse 11. With joy did I nourish them. Say the land was glad to nourish us, but sent them away with weeping and mourning. Sent us away crying and mourning. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow, this is the land speaking, and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children are left desolate, because they departed from the law of the Most High. Don't let anybody tell you you're not under the law. The land is talking to us, telling us the Most High brought the wrath upon us and gave us soldiers to all these nations because we forgot the law of the Most High. That's why it's beautiful. It's high powered that we're coming back to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High now in these last days. You understand? And it's being taught. Oh, yeah. So that's why he's saying in Joel 2 and 21, fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice. Because it was sad. But his children didn't listen. And the land tells us to follow the law of the Most High. For the Most High will do great things. The Most High will do great things. Jump up to verse 19. Let the land talk to us. Since we can't listen to man, let the land talk to us. Verse 19. Go your way, O my children. Go your way, for I am left desolate. See, I have put off the clothing of peace and put upon me the sackcloth of my prayer. That's in a low estate. That's why the Most High is telling the land to rejoice, because it's a sad condition. The land is desolate over there. It said, I will cry unto the everlasting in my days. Hear that? The land said it's going to cry unto the Most High. This is the only time the Most High have pity when you cry unto him. Listen, I will cry unto the everlasting in my days. Be of good cheer, O my children, cry unto the Most High, and he shall deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies. He tells us what to do. Cry unto the Most High, and he'll deliver us from the hand of the enemies. We're going to be saved from the enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. The land got to tell us. It ain't me. It's the land of Israel telling us what works. The only time the Most High have pity. Period. You heard him say it. Look, for you don't know. You that don't know, wasn't here to hear it. Joel 2:12. Therefore also now, said the Most High, turn ye even to me with all your heart, which is your mind, your thinking, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning. That's crying. And when you do this, verse 18, then will the Most High be jealous for his land and pity his people. Only time. See, one thing I praise the Most High for is showing me solutions of what our ancestors did and told us that works. Can't nobody gainsay on this. Listen, Baruch 4, all praise to the Most High, and 21. Be of good cheer, O my children, cry unto the Most High, and he shall deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies. See? Hold that. Get Luke 1:68. Luke 1:68. Everybody talking about they say, this is salvation right here. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel. He ain't the power of no other nation but the Israelites. That's what it's saying. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel, for he have visited and redeemed his people. His is a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. He visited and redeemed his people, and have raised up an horn or power of salvation for us, the children of Israel, in the house of his servant David. David of the tribe of Judah, and Mashiach of the tribe of Judah. Hebrews 7:14, for his evident our power sprang out of Judah. Verse 70, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we, the Israelites, should be saved or delivered from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. See? We got to be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. That's what the land is telling us. In Baruch 4:21. Be of good cheer, O my children. Cry unto the Most High, and he shall deliver you. That's saving us from the power and hand of the enemies. No different than what we just read in Luke 1:68-71. It says, for my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you, deliver you, save you. And joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting our Savior. So we just read about the mercy that's coming to Jacob in Isaiah the 14th chapter, the 1st verse to the 3rd verse. We're going to have rest. Beautiful. Verse 23, for I sent you out with mourning. The land is telling us, it sent us from the land of Israel with mourning and weeping, crying. But the Most High will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Like we're reading here in Joel 2:21. Say, fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for the Most High will do great things. Verse 23 of Baruch, the 4th chapter. For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but the Most High will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Joy and gladness forever. Yes. Forever, people. Jump to verse 36. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Remember what he said in Joel 2:21. Fear not, O land. Be glad and rejoice, for the Most High will do great things. Here it is. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sendest away. We'd be going back to the land. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Most High, the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High. Going back to the land. The Most High said he going to put us in our land. Joel, the 2nd chapter, 22nd verse. Be not afraid, ye beasts of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness do spring, for the tree bear her fruit, the fig tree and the vine do yield their strength. Oh yeah. Not going to be any more desolate land as it is. Let you know it's going to be plenteousness as we read earlier. That's right. Look at Leviticus 26. Leviticus 26, and we're going to look at verse 3 and 4. Leviticus 26 and 3. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, most I say we walk in his statutes and keep his commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield her fruit. Yield their fruit. See? We walk in the commandments of the Most High. That's why we coming back to the commandments of the Most High. Everybody's talking about keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. This is how we going to see. And your dressing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. And I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land. See, it's the good news. Good news, y'all. For real, for real. Let's go to Isaiah 30 and 21. Isaiah 30 and 21. Isaiah 30 and 21. Isaiah 30 and 21. And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. When you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left. I be telling you, it's the way. Come back to the Most High's law, statutes, commandments. Say, ye shall defile also the covering of the graven images of silver, all this idolatry, and the ornament of thy molten images of gold. Thou shalt cast them away as a minstrel's cloth, as a woman on a cycle. That minstrel's cloth, gonna cast them away like you do a minstrel cloth. Get that out of here. Thou shalt say unto it, get thee hence, get on away from me. Then shall he give the rain of thy seed. See, when you get rid of all this idolatry, because the main thing the Most High telling us, you can't have nothing and bow down before it. Because he is a spirit, and they worship must worship him in the spirit and in truth. He's an invisible power. So ain't nothing you can make visible to bow down and saying it's the Most High. Understand this. Verse 23. Then shall he give the rain of thy seed, that thou shalt sow the ground. We're going to plant our crops withal, and bread of the increase of the earth, and it shall be fat and plenteous. Once again, it's going to be fat and plenteous. In that day shall thy cattle field in large pastures. Same as what we've been reading, going over. Plenteousness in all that we put our hand to do. This is beautiful. Verse 24, the oxen likewise, and the young asses that ear the ground, shall eat clean provender. Ain't gonna be no defiled earth. No more. They will eat clean provender, which have been willowed with the shovel and with the fan. That's why you look at why it says clean preventer, because it tells you. Isaiah 24:5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. You hear that? That's why he say the cattle, our livestock, gonna eat clean preventer, because it say the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. See, the Most High gave us rules and regulations of how even grow our crops. Supposed to get a land a time of rest. Do we do that? No. They didn't do that. No way, shape, or form. They trying to grow in every year that they can. And the Most High send the insects, so they got to come up with stronger and stronger insecticides. And when that goes into the ground, it destroys the ground. That's why you fly across America, you see nothing but ground, but they can't plant anything because it's defiled. Because they've broken the laws of the Most High. He told us this is earth. They're going to do it the way they want to do it, not knowing. That's why it's in the condition that it's in now. That's why you got to say he got to burn it up. You got to burn it up. That's a purifying element, fire. Because he made the rainbows in the sky to remind himself that he's not going to flood the earth anymore. He's bringing fire. Go to Psalm 67. Psalm the 67th chapter. We're going to look at verse 5. Psalm 67 and 5. Let the people praise thee, O Most High. Let all the people praise thee. Then shall the earth yield her increase. See? Praising the Most High. Then the earth going to yield her increase. And the Most High, even our own power, shall bless us. See? The only way you're going to praise him is to do what he say do. Keep his laws, statutes, commandments. His rules and regulations. Yes. That's the way it is. It's like that. That's just the way it is. You hear what it says? Let's read it again. Let the people praise thee. Let the people praise the Most High, O Most High. Let all the people praise thee. Then shall the earth yield her increase. And the Most High, even our own power, shall bless us. The Most High shall bless us. And all the ends of the earth shall fear him. You hear that? When he bless us, when we praise in the Most High, then all the ends of the earth, what do you think we at now? The last days, right now. All the ends of the earth shall fear him. They're going to fear him because he's going to bring forth exactly what he says he's going to do. Zechariah 8. Zechariah 8 and 9. Zechariah the 8th chapter, the 9th verse. Zechariah 8 and 9, we're going to read to verse 15. Just a moment, I got to call the conference call. I just lost it. And welcome everybody on YouTube. So we're in Zechariah the 8th chapter, and we're going to start at verse 9. See, thus said the Most High, power of hosts, power of armies, power of angels. Let your hands be strong, ye that hear in these days these words by the mouth of the prophets, which were in the day that the foundation of the house of the Most High of hosts was laid, that the temple might be built. For before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction. For I set all men every one against his neighbor. Had everybody fighting. Wasn't no peace. He said, because of the affliction. But now I will not be unto the residue of this people as in the former days, said the Most High, power of hosts, power of armies. He said, I ain't going to be like I was in the past. Hear what he said, verse 11, but now I will not be unto the residue of this people. The residue is the remnant. Another name for the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. Residue of this people as in the former days, said the Most High, power of hosts. So it ain't gonna be like that. For the seed shall be prosperous, the vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase, and the heavens shall give their due. Gonna be rain, blessings upon all our crops. And the heavens shall give their due, and I will cause the remnant of this people, the remnant is the residue, the remnant of this people, the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, to possess all these things. And it shall come to pass that as ye were a curse among the heathen, it's a future prophecy. He said, as we was a curse among the heathen, as it is this day, O house of Judah. He said, O house of Judah, as we are a curse among the people, O house of Judah, and house of Israel, so will I save you. Hear that? He's going to save us from our enemies, from the hand of all that hate us. He says, so will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. He said, don't be fearing anything except for the Most High. So let your hands be strong. For thus say the Most High, power of hosts, over and over again, power of armies, power of angels. As I thought to punish you, when your fathers provoked me to wrath, said the Most High of hosts, and I repented not. You know? That's why we went into what we went through. As the Most High thought to punish us for what our forefathers done, and he repented not, he didn't feel sorry for us. So again have I thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem. We the 12 tribes of Israel, the residue, the remnant of the 12 tribes of Israel, and to the house of Judah. Fear ye not. Fear ye not. So again have I thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem, unto the 12 tribes of Israel, that residue, that remnant of the 12 tribes of Israel, and to the house of Judah. Fear ye not. So don't be afraid. Go back to Joel, the 2nd chapter. That's what we precept. Joel 2 and 23. Be glad then, ye children of Zion. So be happy. Be glad, ye children of Zion, ye children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, and rejoice by some of Mashiach Yahushua, the name of the Lord and Savior, in the Most High. Your power. For he hath given you the former rain moderately, and he will cause to come down for you the rain. The former rain, these are blessings. And the latter rain in the first month. He said he's going to cause, when that springtime comes, the first month is springtime. He said he's going to cause it to come down and bless us. Bless us, people. So I look at Joel, the 1st chapter, verse 1 to 4. He said, Joel 1, 1st chapter, 1 to 4. It said, the word of the Most High that came to Joel, the son of Bethuel. Hear this, ye old men, and give ear. All ye inhabitants of the land, hath this been in your days, or even in the days of your fathers? Tell ye your children of it, and let your children tell their children, and their children another generation. That which the palmer worm have left, have the locusts eaten. So whatever the palmer worm didn't eat, the locusts ate up. And that which the locusts have left, have the cankerworm eaten. The cankerworm then ate up whatever the locusts left. And that which the cankerworm have left, have the caterpillar eaten. See? That's why we don't have our vineyards, our crops, or cattle, or anything of that nature. But he says it's coming. It's already made ready. We just got to do the commandments of the Most High, fear the Most High, cry unto the Most High that he have pity on us. The solution that always worked. Going back to Joel 2nd chapter, verse 24. And the floors shall be full of wheat, and the fats shall overflow with wine and oil. So how you gonna, what's that wine for? The wine is for to drink. In moderation now. Not to get drunk. You gotta go back. It said, you go back to verse 5 of the first verse. He said, awake, you drunkards. Now, so you're supposed to drink in moderation. He said, awake, wake up, you drunkards. And weep and howl, all you drinkers of wine, because of the new wine, for it is cut off from your mouth. Woo. See, that's why we got to drink in moderation. You can't be no drunkard. Going back to Joel 2 and 24, and the floors shall be full of wheat, and the fat shall overflow with wine and oil. For blessings, put the olive oil, bless the olive oil and put on our heads for blessings, and we cook with it, and we do many things with it. For healing, Verse 25, and I will restore to you the years that the locusts have eaten. We just read about it. He will restore the years that the locusts have eaten, and the cankerworm, and the caterpillar, and the palmer worm, my great army, which I sent among you. See, he sent them to destroy our crops. We ain't want to listen to him, so you have nothing good to eat. I'm going to take away everything that I bless you with. But listen, verse 26. And ye shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and praise the name of the Most High, your power, Yahweh, that have dealt wondrously with you. And my people shall never be ashamed. See that? He said his people never going to be ashamed. Get Leviticus 26 again. Leviticus 26 and verse 5. So we going to never be ashamed. But those that's going to come back to the Most High and follow his rules and regulations. Leviticus 26 and 5. And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread in the full to the full, and dwell in your land safely. Yes. And I will give peace in the land, and you shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land. And you shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. So we're going to chase the enemies. They're going to fall before us by the sword. And 5 of you shall chase 100. 5 going to chase 100. And 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight. And your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. Say 5 going to chase 100. And 100 shall put 10,000 to flight. And your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. For I will have respect unto you. This is only to the children of Israel. I will have respect unto you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, and establish my covenant with you. The children of Israel. 12 tribes of Israel. And ye shall eat old store, and bring forth the old because of the new. And I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor you. So you're going to set his tabernacle among us, and his soul shall not hate us, abhor us. It's going to be among us, people. 12 tribes of Israel. Then he's not going to bring forth his wrath anymore upon us. Amos 9 and 12. Amos 9 and 12. That's good news. Sound like good news to me. Amos 9 and 12. that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen. There's gonna be a remnant, like I said, of all these nations. The remnant, we're gonna possess the remnant of Edom. Like there's gonna be a remnant of Israel. The 1/3 of the Israelites are gonna be saved. Gonna be a remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name. Said the Most High that doeth this. Understand this. Go to Isaiah 63 and 19. Because, I mean, you got to look at that. I mean, called by his name. I mean, you're looking at, when you open up the Bibles, you see the Edomites. That's the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, the 12 tribes of Israel. Everybody. So got white people. But this is what the Most High said in Isaiah 63. And 19. See, we are thine. We are thine. We are yours, Most High. Thou never bear rule over them, over these heathen nations. They were not called by thy name. They were not called by the Most High's name. We are Yah Shar Allah, but they take on our identity. Took on our identity. Until this day. Isaiah 47 and 10. Isaiah 47 and 10. But thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. See, they trusted in their wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Don't nobody see me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. Their wisdom of wickedness and their knowledge of wickedness have perverted them. And thou hast said in thine heart, they said in their mind, the heart is the mind, I am, and none else beside me. Now, no matter how you look at it, this is what they did. You open up the Bibles, who you see? You see Caucasians. So-called Caucasian people in there. They drew their pictures in the Bibles, representing the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, the children of Israel, everybody. Until this day. Nobody taking them down, have they? Have they taken them down? Have they came and declared that this is wrong? No. Children of Israel, well, who you looking at? And who's on this conference call and on this internet? This is what they did. First Maccabees 3:48. In the Apocrypha. The Cambridge University Press Apocrypha, you have that one. It's on page 118. First Maccabees 3:48. And laid open the book of the law, which is the Bible, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. There it is. So this is what they did. They painted the likeness of their images. So when you see here in Isaiah 47 chapter, and we go to one that says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. We already went to Psalms 137, 7-9, is proving who the virgin daughter of Babylon is, the Edomites. Here, so now it tells you in verse 10, Isaiah 47 and 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Tell you in Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? He covered the faces. That's why they opened up the book of the law, the Bible, and painted the likeness of their images. Themselves there when they shouldn't be there. So Isaiah 47 and 10, the Most High says, thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. You say, nobody looking at me. Not knowing that the eyes of the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart. They said in their mind what? I am, and none else beside me. That's what they say. But little do they know. The Most High sees everything. He sees everything. And nothing that anybody's doing, any of us gonna get away with anything. The Most High see it all. Amos 9 and 13. Said we're going to possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen, right? We read that in Isaiah 14, 1-3. Amos 3:13. Behold, the days come. This is future prophecy. Said the Most High, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper. The laborer going to overtake the one that's reaping all the benefits from the crops. The plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth seed. And the mountain shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build away cities and inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I, the Most High, will plant them upon their land. Hear that? Ain't no man gonna save us. Tell you that in Deuteronomy 28 and 29. No man shall save. He said, the Most High said, and I will plant them upon their land. And they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, saith the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's the kingdom. So we ain't gonna never be plucked out of our land if we're blessed to go into that land that he's gonna plant us into. That's the good news. Understand this and overstand this. Yes. So going back to Joel 2, like I said, we looking at Joel, the 2nd chapter. It says, and ye shall eat, verse 26, and ye shall eat in plenty. I mean, we have plenty of whatever it is that we desire, and be satisfied, and praise the name of the Most High, your power, that have dealt wondrously with you. And my people shall never be ashamed. So I go to Isaiah 45 and 17. That's why he told us. He said, but Israel shall be saved in the Most High with an everlasting salvation. It's going to last. Our salvation, our power from authority, going to last forever and ever and ever. But Israel shall be saved in the Most High with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded or confused, world without end. So we ain't going to be ashamed. We're going to be saved in the Most High. We ain't going to be ashamed no more. No one's going to make us ashamed. So Joel 2 and 27. And you shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Most High, your power, and none else. That sounds real racist, don't it? He said you're going to know that he's in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Most High, your power, and none else. Nobody else's. And my people shall never be ashamed. I mean, he said it in verse 26. He's saying it again. So we ain't going to never be ashamed. Ever again. So look at Acts 2:21 and 22. Acts 2:21, 22. That's why I say if you really look at the precepts of what this Bible is talking about, and to the Israelites, and understand with understanding, then you'll see when certain things are said, especially when we go to the New Testament, there is no New Testament. You want to understand the New Testament? When you go here, there is no New Testament. There's only